she'll be the one leading the night, taking the side of every stallion, hoping she'll want a companion. Feel the strongest thump in your chest, that could just be the bass, or their hearts running a race. Frozen the moment they look at her, wait until she drops the bass, she'll be bringing down this place. Who's ready for a party now? The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. Friday night, it's getting late with stallions who bring their mates. The minute that they see her, they'll be cutting short their dates with the slickest white coat and even slicker purple shades that reflect every light that shines. Alright, this night is made, so just dance in the casual, slowly move towards the table. This whole club is vibrating, this place doesn't look stable. Stallions surround her booth, ha, they're welcome overstays, but that's fine, they'll be blown away the moment that she drops the bass. The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. She'll be going home with someone else tonight. She's going home with someone else tonight. Aren't you jealous? Aren't you jealous? She's going home with the jealous. The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. The mayor at the discotheque under the spotlight, she keeps the night moving, she keeps the club grooving all night. She's going home with someone else tonight. Aren't you jealous? Aren't you jealous? She's going home with the cellist.
Hello everyone, and oh my god, that is peaking like goddamn mad. Let me turn that down a little bit. Oh dear. Yeah, let me a little bit further. Okay. Yeah, I want to make sure that that's not peaking, because otherwise that would be a very shitty reading. Anyways, welcome back everyone, and good god it's still high. And welcome to yet another Winchester Wednesdays. I am your host, Winchester572. So yes, I am back after last week of not being here, due to being off in Moline, Illinois at John Deere World Headquarters. Yeah, so that was exciting, really fun. Got to go and eat in the executive dining hall. So I mean that was pretty fun. So yeah. And I apparently used the right forks at the right time, because there were like 4 of them. But yeah, got to see a couple of the different factories, like Davenport Works and whatnot. Got to go to, if any of you guys know the show American Pickers, I got to go to their LeClaire, Iowa store. Went and looked around. Not much for sale, other than like trinkets and stuff with like stuff about the show on it. But yeah. Other than that, yeah, so that's where I was. Huge thanks to Coal Dust for being here and covering with Stream for me. Heard that you all had some issues, but hey, I have some issues too. So, yeah, other than that, we have a little bit shorter cast tonight, but it should still be a fun time. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to the Coal
live.
Hello, Cole.
Hello.
Hey.
What up?
Oh, not much. So, yes, here we have our call here. So, starting off, we have my wonderful co-hosts, Crazy Matt's Captain and Orange Shirt Guy.
There's wind knocking everything down. The fires are everywhere, and I didn't start them this time.
This time.
This
That
time.
is good.
This time.
I mean,
Maybe you can put it out with jam and custard.
Hello,
this-
phone.
This Monday we had a wind strong enough that felt my trailer was on the sea and I was walking around and like losing my balance walking through it. And next up we have our wonderful fic editor, Double R Forest.
I've been holding in loot jokes all day, so if another opportunity arises, I don't think I'll have the strength to hold it off. So be warned.
Yeah.
You could have made a joke right there. You know that with rises.
Any-
And
Oh,
yeah.
oh no, I could, but I kind of lost it there for a moment. Dang it. Well, my forgetfulness is still there as an asset, so maybe that'll save us.
Alrighty. And next up, we unfortunately slightly unused tonight because I have lots of class stuff to catch up on because I'm graduating next week, hopefully. So yeah, I've got a lot of class stuff that I need to get caught up on. We have Skyrays, our wonderful game planner.
I'm no use here. We're not even playing games tonight.
Actually,
Oh, and also while he was doing a little intro, the left ear in my headsets just popped. Yay.
Yay.
Well, your headphones are all right now.
Next time
alrighty.
I see you, you're taking a fistful of fists. Or a faceful of
Yes.
fists.
Thankfully, Lycan didn't trademark that phrase, so I was able to steal it.
Alrighty. So yes, unfortunately Forrest will not be joining us tonight. She has to get up early for some stuff for work and adult life. So, bleh. But we have the next closest thing to her, Zeta and Rosie.
I'm the new forest rain!
Well,
Snap!
well, I was partly
That
talking
doesn't sound
physically,
like
but
Forrest
Shh. Just let me live my dream.
You'll just slowly take over her life, like a good spy.
and I did mention Zeta in there too.
Hi there.
Oh, I'm going to be Fluttershy.
Oh, so Sky, look in the damn show chat, please.
Okay. About what?
Things.
The side talks.
Yes.
Just look. So
Yeah.
we get through everyone there. I had to talk at my brother there.
And also last but not least we have Larsus,
Oh wait,
We
he's
do
not
have a
here.
Larsus?
What Larsus?
or not Larsus,
I didn't see a
Lycan.
Larsus.
I'm sorry.
Lycan, you're the new Larsus.
now.
Oh, it hurts! It hurts, doesn't it, Winchester?
I got bug. There we go.
Okay, so
Okay, I'm trying to figure out
Alright,
what
I'll-
you're trying to say.
Don't
when-
worry, everyone. I will stay away from the insect puns. I know how much they bug you.
That was a bad one.
Man.
alrighty. So yes, but
We're starting a
Other
new
than
fic
that-
this week, aren't we?
what?
We're starting a new fic this week, aren't we?
Oh yes, apparently, because I didn't realize that we finished the old one last week. So this week we
was
will be
short.
doing. Yeah, I didn't realize it.
I liked it.
It ends with they're there.
No, it ends with Celestia, not another.
Oh yeah, that was great though. I still love that custard and jam. Amazing.
Oh my
Jam,
god.
sir.
Well, no room. What do you mean no room? The jams. Oh dear God.
Let's you give me strength.
Oh.
I can't guarantee, but I'll do my best.
And it looks like Stream Chat is extremely dead tonight. I see a lot of people have joined, but nothing is moving. Oh well.
I'm trying to join the IRC actually.
I gave it a boop. See if it comes alive.
Yeah, mine just says connecting.
There we go. I threw in my 2
Excuse me.
cents.
Can anybody find me? Somebody to love?
Somebody to love.
Yeah. Anybody find me somebody to love.
But yes. Oh, so some other interesting news. If anybody else is interested in Fast and Furious stuff, you all should go check out Mighty Car Mods. They went to the garage where they build some of the cars, and they checked out some of the cars for Fast and Furious 8. So yes, that is very exciting. If you all are interested in that. So yes.
So did we figure out the side thing that we were trying to figure out there?
I don't know. I don't know if Skyrays is actively reading this chat.
Maybe ping them?
Well, he's in the damn call. Okay.
Oh, he said something.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm having problems connecting to the IRC. Is there anyone else having the same issue?
Oh, I connected up fine.
No,
Okay.
he's connected with me.
Oh, Sky.
Having issues connecting through the Kiwi, or there's something else?
No, through the Kiwi.
Let me check.
Yeah.
Everybody's-
Kiwi normally works for me. If that doesn't work, I normally switch over to Light IRC.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
Oh, that.
Man, everybody's just either sick or they got connection problems or they got errands.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Apples.
So, seeing
Yeah,
as-
I'm not having issues with the Kiwi there. Archivers got through.
maybe it's something about Australia.
Yeah, but kiwi is not an apple.
Apples are better.
Well, seeing as in this particular fic, we have a big need for Spike. So, once Skyrays is good to go.
I think he said sure. Up
Well,
above.
yeah, he said sure, but I think he's still making or fixing something with like headphones or something.
Yeah, I mean, he's not talking to us, so...
Yeah. Even
That says
though his microphone isn't even connected to his headphones. As far as I know.
Well, he can't respond.
You guys sound like you're at volume 1, and I'm at volume 100. So all I'm hearing is.
Don't you have another set of headphones?
If we need to throw things like crazy, I'm sure we could toss this cake at Orange and throw double R at Spike.
Yes,
Well, I
I
mean,
do
I'm
have
sure
another
I
set
can
of
pull
headphones,
somebody.
but they're USB,
I wouldn't mind
so
that.
I would have to wait about 10 minutes for the drivers to install.
You know, if we weren't reading a fan fiction and this was out of context, I would have thought you were actually talking about physically throwing Mrs. Cake at Spike. Just imagining this in my head.
Oh my god, that would
Spike's
be
like,
amazing.
I could use some cake right now. Well, here you go. Wait, no!
That kind of cake.
And then Spike was squished.
Delicious.
Uh-oh. At least he died a happy death.
Also, if you hear blood splatter, it's because Forest Rain's murdering me for being too loud.
Oh dear.
Just ignore that. Mop it up.
So, make sure you're louder. Got it.
Okay, so I found out my IRC problem.
What?
Apparently, it thinks I'm a bot and hence has kicked me.
Maybe it's because you keep posting too many puns.
I know.
You're the punny bot.
This is like, cannot.
Are you blocked on the
handle
whole
puns.
Tektronix or on just our room?
No, it'd be the whole of Tectonics. So I just tried connecting to the server without connecting to the room, and it goes, this server has anti-spam bot mechanisms enabled. Blah, blah, blah.
Just be like, that's nice. I'm not a spam bot. Let me go through.
I know.
Hold on. Let me pop into the help channel, see if I can.
See what's going on.
There, but is he online?
Oh, another thing as far as news and stuff goes. If you go to Massdrop, they have the Yamaha HS8 studio monitors, which is the next size larger than what both me and Forest Rain have. So yeah, and they are like $100 off of their normal price. So basically, you can get the next size bigger for the same price.
Okay, referring to your headset, Winchester, are you talking about the TV-sized one or one of the other two monitors?
My studio monitors, the speakers.
The speakers?
Yes,
Wait, now they're calling the speakers the monitors now.
they're called studio monitors because you're monitoring the sound.
Well, then what do you call the other monitors?
Visual monitors.
Oh.
Or video monitors.
Oh. Okay.
Is it really that hard of a concept?
Well, everybody just called them speakers, and then the visual things were called monitors. That's just a system I'm used to.
Okay.
I'm learning how to work Visual Studios to make websites, not learning how computers are made, or at least not that deep into it. I took a basics class on that.
Can you send me the exact message so I can send it to the help channel?
Yep, sure.
Just PM it to me and I can. Apparently, he is online right now.
Well, seeing as Skyrays is still out of commission due to his headphones, yeah, I think I'll move some stuff around. Double R, you
Wait,
said that
hold on.
Wait,
What?
Oh, wait. Sound.
Do you
what's
live?
this?
I hear you.
Skyrays is back.
Out of the loop. Where are we right now? Did you start the reading?
No, because you start
Nope.
the reading.
Okay. Oh, I
Do you
start
want-
the reading, huh?
Yes.
Do you want?
Wait.
Are you capable of being Spike?
Looks like it. Hold on. Let me.
Should we give you a smaller roll just in case? Because Spike's a pretty big roll.
Wait, hold on. You know what? I'm gonna do something because these headphones are still acting up. I'm gonna go to my speakers and tell me if it echoes. Let me turn them on. Not full volume. All right, speak.
Hello?
Hey,
Does it echo?
I heard a Winchester echo.
Yeah, I can hear myself echo.
All right.
Can you hear me echo?
Test again.
Yeah.
Yes, I can definitely hear Double R echo.
Oh, I can hear a Winchester echo.
I can't hear anybody echo at the moment.
Better.
Ah.
Better?
Just looking at it, I think
Hello?
you're using the wrong port.
Yeah.
Test.
That's
test.
I am God.
Oh my god.
Test.
Yes, you are good. You are good.
Awesome. Okay, I have it at a low volume, and the gain is like super low. So I don't know if you can hear me from here. Can you hear me from here?
You did go quiet.
How about we switch Spike or we switch Sky and Orange Shirt Guy around because Big Mac isn't quite as big of a part if we have to. And also, it's a
Well,
little
no,
long.
I mean, I don't mind playing the role.
Well, I
It's
know that
just-
you don't mind playing the role. The issue is whether we can hear you.
Well, no, I mean, all I got to do is just stay really close to the mic. I mean, it's a condenser mic anyway, so I'm supposed to be really close to it.
Alrighty. So we shall move on. So, anyways, if everybody is ready, which
Aye.
we are. Okay, so transition.
I need to step away for a moment because I think my pizza just arrived.
Ah.
I'll be right back
Lord.
upstairs.
See what she said.
Also,
Better be
for-
careful. Winchester might have a pizza you.
Swear to God.
Also, just so people know, or if people are curious, go check out the Winchester Wednesdays Twitter at TBS Wednesdays. Yes, we had a pre-show silly that got put on there, so go check that out for people. We're not going to tell you it right now, or we're not going to tell you it in show because we want you to go check out the Twitter. So yes.
Can you give me that hashtag again?
What? At TBS
Wait, what was
when at TBS Win Wednesday?
Everything is on fire.
Yay, okay, CMC's back and we can begin. So is everybody ready? No more pizzas?
I'm ready.
No more headphones?
Red
Alrighty.
leader ready.
No more headphones.
Alrighty, so without further ado, It Takes a Village by Deter Mamfid. Your narrator tonight will be me, Winchester. Twilight Sparkle will be played by CMC. Spike will be played by Skyrays. Mrs. Cake by Double R Forest. Big Macintosh by Orange Shirt Guy. Pinkie Pie by Lycan. Rainbow Dash by Double R. Fluttershy by Rosie Posey. And Applejack by Rosie Posey. By Zeta. And Rarity by Rosie. Yeah, there we go. I'm already screwing it up. Anyways, It Takes a Village. Chapter 1.
Oops.
Spike pulled his tail back between his claws and held his breath as the table skittered precariously towards the bookshelf before it teetered to a halt. He let out the breath with a gusty sigh of relief. Nothing broken this time, thanks, Celestia. For once, Twilight's voice floated down the stairs from her room.
Spike, not again.
Nope, everything's okay this time. Promise.
He called back up to his foster sister and best friend, pulling anxiously at his tail a little and eyeing the distance between himself and the bookshelves behind him. He was still finding it hard to judge how much room he required. He could hear Twilight's yawn and the creak of her bed springs as she got up to begin the morning. It was the first day in quite some time that she hadn't woken to find a dragon-created disaster in the library. Yesterday morning, he'd knocked over all the pans in the kitchen while trying to make her some breakfast, as an apology. And it had taken half an hour for her eyes to go from stark raving crazy back to normal. Glancing at the shelf between him again, he debated whether to try to turn around to greet the pony who was now trotting down the stairs. It was with an unhappy resignation that he decided against it. He'd had too many successive disappointments when it came to his clumsiness lately, and it would surely be a nice surprise for Twilight to enter a catastrophe-free zone for once. He crouched down on the library floor, still holding his tail with one claw, and tried to bunch himself up as tightly as possible.
Morning.
Twilight squeezed past him.
Morning.
His eyes darted to the table, then to the floor. She followed the glance to the table, her lips quirked wryly.
Oh, well, it's better than the pans at least.
I'm sorry.
She rubbed a hoof on her head.
Shh.
Twilight.
Spike began, but she shook her head.
Just, Spike, it's okay. It's not your fault. It's fine, okay? We'll talk about it, but first, I need coffee.
Oh, okay.
Spike turned from long ingrained habit towards the kitchen, mind already planning coffee and biscuits, and absently released his tail. It swung around and slammed directly into the table he'd shunted before. Flying wood chips and ink cut off the sound of Twilight's cry of alarm.
Oh no! No, Twilight! Oh no! Are you okay? I'm so sorry. Are you okay?
Spike blurted, green eyes wide, as she spat ink and wiped her face. Splinters of the table were caught up in her mane.
Ugh.
She growled and splattered ink from her face onto the ground.
No.
Can I?
No. No. You just
She held up her hoof.
stay there, okay? I'll wash up and then we'll go to Sugar Cube Corner. I'll get coffee there. Have you eaten?
He shook his head mutely.
Then we'll both eat there. Or I will. We'll just stay outside or something.
Spike winced.
Twilight?
She sighed, raising her stained face up to meet his eyes.
I know, Spike.
She rested her ink-smeared hoof on his cheek for a moment before squeezing past him to get to the stairs. Spike sat motionlessly for a while, his heart in his feet. He examined them idly, the broad pads, the thickened claws, and closed his eyes in resignation. Heaving himself to all fours, he looked around him as thoroughly as possible before carefully backing out of the library doors to the main thoroughfare. His spines caught the upper door jamb and scraped a thin groove into it. He flinched slightly, trying to duck lower. Unfortunately, that caused the scales at his elbows to dig into the sides of the door frame, and his wings to catch painfully against the wood, rendering it impossible to get out at all. He stiffened a scream of frustration and resigned himself to scraping the upper door jamb rather than tearing the frame out altogether. When he finally squeezed himself out onto the street, he stretched as fully and luxuriously as possible. It had been quite some time since he'd attempted the door. His back had cramped fiercely from trying to compress his full length, and his legs felt sore and rubbery from the constant muscle tension. He shook out his shoulders, feeling the armored scales shift over his shoulder blades and the heavy flop of the spines from side to side. Even his tail seemed to have a kink in it from continually holding it back. He whipped it lazily to loosen it before drawing himself onto his hind legs and balancing with it. Ponyville was quiet this early in the morning. The only ponies could be seen about were Ditzy, the male mare, flitting from house to house like a gray bumblebee. Mrs. Cake sweeping out the front of the bakery. He stretched his neck even taller, trying to see over the houses to Sweet Apple Acres, where he knew the Apple family always arose with the dawn. Not quite tall enough yet, but the tops of the houses were getting ever closer. He heard an odd and yet dismayed voice speak from below.
Whoa! How are you fitting inside the library at all?
Spike looked down gingerly to see a slightly dampened Twilight staring up at him. He bit his lip.
Ow!
His fangs dug into his mouth.
Are you okay?
He nodded his head sheepishly.
Yeah, I just forgot about them. Are you okay? I'm really sorry, Twilight. I didn't mean to.
I know, I'm fine. It was an accident. Now come on. Breakfast. I still haven't had that coffee, and we need to talk about this.
Can you back up a bit? I don't want to land on you, and I can't.
Walk on two legs anymore?
She moved to one side of him. Spike allowed his upper body to fall under its own gravity, and there were two distinct booms as his forepaws touched and combed the dirt street. He winced at the noise, and looked sidelong for his foster sister. She shook her head in amused resignation.
Come on then, big guy.
He followed her up the main street, wishing he was still small enough to be carried on her back like the child he was. But there wasn't enough food in the whole of Sugar Cube Corner to feed Spike anymore. But the citizens of Ponyville had acknowledged his contributions to the town, and as a debt to be repaid. Thus, a couple of barrels of apples and vegetables were delivered to the library every few days. Occasionally, a few gems were included in his haul. Spike liked those days. The whole arrangement made him feel inexpressibly guilty about taking food from the village. But Twilight had put her hoof down. It was too early for his food to have been delivered this morning. However, Spike resigned himself to going hungry for a few hours as Twilight ducked inside the bakery to order her breakfast. She soon reappeared and sighed gustily as she sat down on the stoop, blowing a strand of wet purple-pink mane out of her eyes. Spike laid down beside her and placed his head over his forepaw, trying to keep his body out from out of the main thoroughfare.
So, don't fit in the library anymore.
Spike closed his eyes. The library was home. Home meant the library.
I don't want to go away.
Who said anything about that?
She sounded genuinely surprised. Then her eyes opened very wide, and her hoof traveled halfway to her mouth.
Spike, you didn't think that we'd get rid of you, did you?
Well...
Spike squirmed against the knot in his throat. She simply stared at him, her mouth open.
I don't...
Spike began, but quieted as Mrs. Cake bustled outside with a serve of banana bread and a mug of coffee. She placed them on the ground beside Twilight and smiled kindly at them both.
Good morning, dears. My, Spike, I don't see you around very much anymore. How you've grown.
Spike could tell that that his answering smile was a little sickly, and no doubt a little intimidating now that his adult teeth had grown in.
Thanks. Yes, I've grown, and that's the problem.
Call me if you need anything, dears. Pinky should be in soon, no doubt. She'll be thrilled to see you.
Thanks, Mrs. Cake.
Twilight's magic scooped up the coffee as the Sunzy pony bustled back inside. She took a large gulp before firmly setting it down and leaning forward to glare at him.
Spike, how could you think?
But I just...
Spike interrupted, rearing back onto his elbows and haunches before settling.
Look, I just don't want things to change.
Nor do I. But this simply isn't working anymore. You're growing up, Spike. In another few months, you won't even get through the library doors. We're lucky you've grown longer than bulkier. Otherwise, I doubt you'd have made it outside today without ripping a hole in the wall.
Spike steeled his courage.
Yeah, about that.
The coffee cup stopped halfway to her lips.
I didn't see a hole?
I tore the top of the door jam.
Oh. That's it then. You really don't fit in the library anymore.
I don't...
There was an awful pause.
Let's think of something. I suppose you're not much into caves.
Spike made an inelegant noise of derision before pressing his forehead against his claws.
What am I gonna do?
Spike.
She waved away the cloud of smoke that had accompanied his exclamation, and taking another sip of her coffee.
Perhaps.
He swallowed. Then it all seemed to come pouring out of him. His head reared to its full height, his lengthening neck snaking skywards, his claws viciously raked at the ground, once in pent-up frustration.
Twilight! I hate this! I don't fit anywhere in Ponyville anymore. Not just the library. And I'm just going to keep getting bigger and bigger, and I can't stop breaking things. I don't even know how to stop. I don't know how strong I am, and I can't use these stupid things.
He flapped his wings once before letting them fall uselessly against the dusty ground by his sides. He could feel his eyes stinging and blinked hard.
I'm not good for anything anymore. I can't write because I can't hold a quill. Can't send messages unless I'm 20 pony strides from wooden structures, and
He could feel a hissing tear sliding down his face and rubbed it off hurriedly, lest the boiling water scorch his best friend.
I can't even cry.
He closed his eyes once more.
Spike!
Twilight sounded horrified. Her hooves began to smooth down the spines beside his face.
I'm a disaster. It's only a matter of time before I hurt some pony. Maybe I'll hurt them bad, Twilight. I don't want to. I just don't. I can't. I hate this.
Oh, Spike.
Twilight gasped softly and leaned her head against him, her whole weight pressing against the feathery scales at his jawline in an attempt to comfort him. It only brought up bittersweet memories of being cradled against her when he was unhappy. Once so much bigger than him, so much stronger. He tried to get his heaving breath under control. His lower lip quivered against his wicked teeth as he slumped to the ground in misery.
I'm dangerous.
His lungs burned and burned more than green fire.
Only a matter of time, and I'll be asked to leave.
Shh, Spike, please. It's okay. It's okay.
It's not okay. How can you say that? This is my home, and I don't fit.
It is okay. Or it will be. Why didn't you tell me you felt like this?
Spike opened one eye to give her a sardonic glare. She smiled weakly.
Right. The leaving thing, right. But Spike, we love you. I love you. I'd never ask you to leave. You're my #1 assistant, remember?
#1 and not being able to do anything.
Spike flinched as Twilight's hoof batted his cheek.
Now stop that, mister.
She relented and held his head close as she could, carefully avoiding his smoking nostrils and brimming boiling eyes.
I'd never ask you to leave. I'd do whatever I needed to do to keep you here, little brother. My great big little brother.
She chuckled sadly and stroked the crested scales on top of his head. He stifled another sob and sniffed noisily, desperate not to let his tears slide onto her. She leaned back to regard him, and her face grew affectionate and rueful.
Oh, look at you. Forget how young you are, don't we? You're still just a kid, considering how large dragons grow and how long they live. That's okay. It's okay.
Twilight, it's not okay. Didn't you hear me? I can't do anything anymore. All I do is break things and eat other people's food.
Didn't you hear me? I said whatever I needed to do.
Twilight sat up straight and eyed him almost challengingly. Her horn flared, and her saddlebag opened to permit her notepad and quill to float before her. She gnawed her lip for a moment before nodding.
What are you...
Spike began, but Twilight was already beginning to write.
First things first.
She spoke in a businesslike tone, though her eyes were a little too shiny for it to be convincing.
I have to be near the library. We've got nothing behind the trees, so that's a start. You're likely to end up roughly 5 times the size you are now, And that's not including wingspan or your adult tail length. Let's see. And room enough to turn around and... yes, that feels easily big enough.
What is big enough for what?
His unhappiness was still twisting in his belly and shrieking in his ears, but Twilight's behavior was throwing him utterly off balance.
We'll make you a house. Not wooden, obviously. Stone would be better for you. It would have to be big enough for you to be comfortable, even when you're fully grown. Oh, there's a thought. What if you decide to have a horde one day? Or a mate? Nope, better be twice that size.
She ducked her head as the magic-infused quill began to scribble furiously more. Horde? Mate? Spike's mouth dropped open in astonishment before he began to blush violet. Words were lining up in his brain, ready to be spoken. Words of protest, of embarrassment, of gratitude. But he was too stunned to give them voice. His jaw simply worked uselessly as he stared at Twilight. She squinted at the paper.
We may have to clear some trees, but that should work. Luckily, that plot of land's unoccupied. You could pull those trees up and replant them no problem. And that brings us to the next point. Controlling your strength.
She peered at him consideringly.
I could help him.
A soft, accented tone came from the road behind Spike's body. Both Twilight and Spike jerked slightly in alarm, the notepad and quill clattering to the ground. Their heads whipped around to see Big Macintosh hitched to a hefty wagon. Within it were the piled barrels and crates that constituted Spike's meals for the next couple of days.
Mighty sorry for scaring y'all, but I couldn't help overhearing.
Macintosh, oh!
Twilight blew out a breath of relief before her ears perked forwards.
You can help? Would you?
Well, yes'm.
Macintosh ducked his large red head.
You see, when I was a colt, I had a similar sort of problem, being that I was taller and stronger than the other colts. It took me a long time to control my strength. I could help there, I reckon. Show you what I learned.
Spike eyed the farm pony dubiously.
I'm a whole bunch bigger and stronger than you already.
You ain't more stubborn, though.
That's a given. You're related to Applejack.
All these shocks were making him blunt, he realized dimly. Twilight tissed even as she lifted a hoof over to cover her smile.
Manners, mister.
Her face grew serious.
It's up to you, Spike. Your decision.
Spike looked at her helplessly, his eyes darting between them.
Oh, I can help too. I can help.
Pinkie Pie had abruptly appeared behind the cart, and just as abruptly tripped over her hooves. She tumbled awkwardly to land in the candy floss pile at Spike's feet. Her legs, an interestingly complicated jumble.
What am I helping with?
Pinky.
Twilight began as Spike tried to prop the party pony up again. His forehoofs pushed too fast, and she sat back on her rump heavily.
Hi, Twilight. Hi, Spike.
She beamed from within another complicated tangle of pink limbs as Spike began to shudder apologies.
You see, you're moving too fast. Can't do that when you got some size on you. Gotta move slower and steady. Give all these folks a little time to see you coming.
Spike glanced over at the stallion and nodded despite himself. Then he reached out his foreleg and very, very slowly pushed Pinkie back onto her feet.
There now.
Spike looked at his forepaw, the long curved claws and large pads, and then at the knowingly grinning Pinkie Pie.
So that's a yes?
Spike swallowed before simply nodding once more. She gave him her most brilliant smile before the notepad and quill floated before her again.
So, for strength training, Big Mac. Sunday's okay?
She smiled her thanks at the red pony, who gave his slow smile back as he began to unhitch himself from his wagon.
Yep. Sunday morning be fine with me, Miss Twilight.
Spike cleared his throat. A pony he barely knew was offering him help. After all, a vast sense of stunned amazement was beginning to overwhelm him like a new dawn.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I wouldn't be thanking me just yet. You're going to be working mighty hard to get yourself under control, same as I did. But you'll get there.
The large farm pony nodded approvingly. Twilight frowned at her list.
So, for flying.
Some pony mention me?
A swirl of color now announced Dash's arrival, and Spike had to stop himself from flinching. He didn't like the idea of learning to fly like Rainbow Dash. She was so nimble, so fast, and light and speedy. He'd no doubt rip himself in two if he had tried to learn her way.
Well, we mentioned flying.
Which means you totally mentioned me, because I am flying. So what do you need to know? Super speed strut, cloud roulette, sonic rainbow?
I'll be the biggest crater you ever pulled, brother.
We don't need trick flying. We need some pony to teach Spike.
Oh.
Me! I can help! Me!
Pinky bounced before stopping dead still in a petulant realization.
Aw, no fair. I can't fly.
Pinky, I appreciate the offer.
Rainbow Dash settled on the ground before him, her wings flipping back neatly.
Hey, I'll help you out. No problem. Like I'd leave you hanging, no way.
I can't do all the stuff you can, Rainbow Dash. So you can just teach me to fly? No trick stuff. I mean, I'd make a really big mess if I hit the ground, so...
You got it. Easy peasy kitty stuff. I promise.
Nothing like the crazy stuff you teach to Scootaloo?
Cross my heart and hope to fly.
Pinky gasped out in outrage that Dash didn't finish the Pinkie Pie swear, and so continued with the rest of the actions herself.
You are gonna love it. Just you wait. When you're up there, the wind in your mane, the current under your wings, the whole sky yours to own.
But Spike doesn't have a mane.
Pinky tipped her head, squinting at him.
Oh, hello, Spike.
A soft, nervous little voice spoke up, and Fluttershy inched tentatively beyond his body to see the rest of the collected ponies.
Oh, I see. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to interrupt. I'll just be...
Twilight suddenly squawked and grabbed her meekest friend.
No, wait, Fluttershy. Wait, perfect.
Oh, hello there, Twilight.
Fluttershy squeaked as her breath was entirely cut off.
Fluttershy, you've got that stare, and you've had experience with dragons before. Oh, you can be the one to help Spike with his flame.
Twilight hugged the shy Pegasus even tighter. Fluttershy meeped.
What?
No, I can't hold that. That was too cute.
It was. But Twilight, I can already flame. I've been able to flame since I was hatched.
But Fluttershy can help you refine it, you see, knowing how much to use and when. You've always given it your all, but now you don't need to, and it's become a problem. So Ta-da! Fluttershy.
Spike cocked his head.
I don't think she likes the idea all that much.
Fluttershy was trembling violently in Twilight's stranglehold.
Fire!
She shook her head so fast, it became a peach-colored blur.
I hope I'm not being too forward if I suggest something.
Pinky furrowed her brow before her face lit up with other glee.
Ooh, me too.
No, Pinky, no party just yet. Go ahead, Mr. Apple.
Macintosh looked amused.
Call me Big Macintosh. Hell, every pony does. How's about Miss Fluttershy takes me firing lessons after I get done with the strength lessons? You'll be a bit more tired and less likely to produce as much fire, I'm guessing.
Well, I guess. I don't really know, to be honest.
We got 2 fallow fields out there in the farm where you can practice in. No trees or nothing. While you stay behind them, you should be safe as houses. And might I say, AJ'd be a right help on this too. Her aim and concentration when it comes to rope work is second to none. After all, might be that translates over to dragonfire lessons too. Leastways that part about hitting targets.
That'd be fantastic.
Spike felt that overwhelming sensation beginning to fill him up again.
Fluttershy, would you please? I'll ask Applejack right away. Wow, to be able to control my flame, that'd be...
Now he's excited.
Twilight shook her head.
Boys.
Fluttershy had slowly relaxed as Big Macintosh spoke, and she smiled tremendously up at Spike.
Well, if Applejack and, Mr. Big Macintosh are okay with that, then, well, I'll try.
Ooh, thank you, Fluttershy.
Spike beamed really beamed down at them. It made Twilight realize how long it had been since she'd seen it.
Big Mac, everyone, thank you all.
Oh, we're not finished yet.
She cheerily scribbled some more on her notepad.
We're not? Twilight, that's flying lessons, strength lessons, fire lessons.
Yes, and we're building an enormous stone house too. And I'll work out how to spell some quills and parchment larger for him. But we still need to find a way to get him to stop feeling guilty about the food he's eating.
Pinky's eyes went huge.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I can help!
Pinky, oh, Celestia, of course, Pinky, you're a baker and a cook!
Twilight skittered over to her most enthusiastic friend.
What can you do?
Me? Bounce, of course.
And she looked at Twilight as though she were the crazy one. Twilight sighed in disappointment.
Right. Obviously.
She began to turn away, but Spike carefully and slowly put out a forepaw to stop her progress.
Hey, hang on. Sometimes there's something in those things she says. Pinky, what good does bouncing do?
She rolled her eyes.
Silly Billy Dilly Dragon. It's good when I bounce because it's super duper fun, but it's good when you bounce because all the apples will fall off the tree just like that.
Shoot, she's right. Get him jumping in the orchard and apple bucking season will last a day, tops.
And with your fancy new fire skills, you could roasty toasty them all up.
Pinky shrugged. Big Macintosh choked, and then stared up at Spike in amazement.
That'd save us 3 weeks when autumn rolls around.
Say, what now? And where you been?
Applejack came storming up to her brother and poked him in his massive chest with one hoof.
You were supposed to come back to take Apple Bloom and her friends to school if I mucked out the pigs. You lazy environment. You know I can't stand all that teenager talk first thing in the morning. Oh,
Applejack's tirade was cut off as her brother's great shaggy hoof hooked her closed and dragged her over to Pinky, speaking faster than any pony had ever heard him speak.
AJ, you gotta hear this. Ms. Pie's got her some ideas that are gonna give Granny that new hip.
Macintosh grabbed his little sister's head and turned her face to Pinky.
Listen to all this.
Pinky gave her shiniest smile.
Oh, I'm just getting started. Rarity could magic up one of his claws so he can find his own jewels to munchy crunch on, and I could ask him to roast all the coffee beans in the whole shop, which would be one heck of a selling point, and it'd take a great big dragon no time at all to pull up trees or lift up rocks or fight off nasty old diamond dogs, and he could warm up water for Lotus and Aloe, or do awesomely scary things on Nightmare Night, or protect Ponyville from all the creepy, silly, funny nasties in the Everfree forest. Oh, and he could learn to do barbecues for parties and s'mores. Oh, yum! And dig furrows in the fields with his claws and melt the snow and ice and thump all the snow off the houses at winter wrap-up.
Pinky, you should really breathe.
Or help with all the cooking on festival nights, or give air rides to all the earth ponies and unicorns.
Pinky blinked as Fluttershy's words sank in, and then dragged in a huge breath.
Oh, that's better.
what's all these ideas in aid of? Not that they wouldn't be in right help, you get me? But what's brought all this up?
We're helping Spike, and he wants to help back, of course.
Oh, right, and Spike needs help with whole Nelly.
Spike crouched a little as Applejack's green eyes widened, taking him in.
Land sakes, kid.
Hi, Applejack.
At Macintosh's steady looked, he pulled himself up a more comfortable sitting position. The red pony's nod was approving, and he straightened his forelegs and shoulders unconsciously in response.
Haven't seen you in ages.
Well, now, ain't you a sight, Sugar Cube?
She whistled, tipping her hat back to smile up at him.
And by the way, you're teaching him to be more accurate with his flame down in your fallow fields on Sunday afternoons?
I'm doing what now?
Spike tried to take it all in. There were a few things in that list of Pinky's that he wouldn't be able to do until he got even bigger. But for the first time in Celestia knew how long, he didn't feel sad or bitter about the undeniable fact of his growth. In fact, he sort of liked the idea of helping out, being Ponyville's big, scaly defender, keeping things warm, fixing things up, even showing earthbound ponies to the skies.
Wow.
His whole mind began to reel. He could do this. He could be himself and keep his home and still be useful. Pinky smiled suddenly.
Feel better?
I sure do. Thanks. Thank you.
He dared to look back over at Macintosh before lowering his face to Pinky and carefully and very slowly touching her neck with the side of his head, which was the best he could manage at approximating a hug. She, of course, threw caution to the winds as she threw both forelegs around his whole head, heedless of his smoking nostrils. He sucked in his breath quickly and held it, worried about hurting her. She nudged his neck.
Don't be silly. This goofy little smoke isn't going to burn me, so just you turn that big old shiny frown upside down.
She stuck her right leg over his nose.
See? It's not even hot.
He swallowed and tried to begin breathing again.
Oh, whoops. A little hot, but nowhere near burning hot, so quit your worry-warding. Sheesh, like you'd hurt any pony. The whole idea just makes me want to laugh.
She crossed her eyes and blew a loud raspberry, and yanked his head down into a hug again. The lump in Spike's throat was now a boulder. His body was gently trembling with suppressed emotion. He felt a shy touch of Fluttershy's hoof on his neck, and Twilight was stroking his crested spines once more. Rainbow was prodding idly at the fan scales at his jaw, intrigued at their aerodynamic shape. Applejack gave his shoulder a hearty clap, and Macintosh even nudged his side in encouragement. They weren't afraid. They weren't abandoning him. His brain was clamoring, different reactions tugging him in different directions. He barely knew what to think. He could really do it. He could stay and be a dragon among ponies. He really, really could. He closed his eyes and relaxed into acceptance of his friends. Rainbow Dash's voice broke his reverie.
We're really gonna build him a house?
I wonder where we're going to get that much rock.
I hate work that takes more than 10 seconds.
Color me astonished.
Spike cleared his throat and gently began to straighten his neck, pulling his muzzle out of Pinky's sprawling embrace. His friends beamed at him, and he smiled back, heedless of the appearance of his fangs.
I'll find it. The rock, I mean. And I'll bring it back. I'll build it.
At their dubious, and in some cases challenging, expressions, his smile grew a little bashful.
I heard, could use some help.
He glanced over at Twilight, and she shook her head at him smilingly, her eyes still faintly shaded with her concern.
Worse than Applejack you are.
She nudged him affectionately and he gave her a giddy grin, feeling lighter than air. He barely needed a flying lesson at all.
Hey, Pinky? I really like the idea of enchanting one of my claws to find jewels. You got so many good ideas. I can't wait to hear the rest.
She laughed as she began to bounce.
Only had to ask. Oh, and wait till you hear my ideas for your shedskins.
Some pony mentioned Spike needing jewels.
Spike whipped his head around, eyes wide and expectant, to gaze worshipfully and wistfully down at Rarity as she stepped daintily down the street.
My darling, you should have said that they weren't enough.
Spike blinked.
Hey?
You mean you didn't find them? Oh, if I find that some pony's been stealing food from you, food I personally gathered with my very own hooves, and very nobly and very selfishly did not use on my new spring collection for hoity-toity, oh, they will rue the day. They will regret their very existence. They will curse the moment they ever cross the one, the only rarity, the unicorn.
You left them for me? With my food?
Spike was beginning to feel a little dizzy. It was too much.
Ooh.
Oh, Twitchy tail, he's gonna fall!
Yeah, he's fine, let him. We're all on the other side of him now.
Spike stared at lovely tiny Rarity. She was all the way down there.
Thanks. I really appreciated it. Never knew it was.
He slumped to the ground, right in the middle of the street. That sounded like a
Darling?
table.
Darling? Oh, the poor dear. It must have been simply too much. I have been known to have that effect. On occasion. One of the burdens I must bear. Should we put a wet cloth on his forehead? Perhaps a wet towel? Yes.
Rarity's voice sounded rather far away.
Here you are, Spike.
Something cold was laid against his head.
Just sleep here. It's nice and warm in the sun.
Twilight?
He felt a familiar hoof press his face before a purple blur swam into his vision.
I'm here, you silly drunk.
The last thing Spike heard before drifting off into black fuzziness was Applejack demanding.
Why in the hay has my family never gotten a dragon friend before? And why in the hay have I spent all them years bucking apples when he could do all the work, all 20 ponies by dancing along with Pinkie Pie?
Dear Princess Celestia, sorry for the claw writing. It's Spike. Twilight suggested I try writing a letter to you now that I'm getting used to using a quill again. I've been having a pretty difficult time lately. I haven't seen you for a couple years, so I don't know if you're aware of how much I've grown. I don't fit in the library anymore. Actually, the only building in Ponyville I can get into now is the barn at Sweet Apple Acres. Sorry about the size of the letter. Maybe you can magic it smaller? Anyway, I was getting really sad, and I thought that because I was getting so big, I'd have to leave Twilight, Ponyville, and all my friends. I was trying so hard to hide how big I was, and it wasn't working. Wow. You should have seen some of the messes I made in the library. A few days ago, I learned some things about friendship. I learned that a friend is a friend no matter how different, how big, or small, or scaly, or pony shaped they are. I learned that even if you think you're useless, sometimes it takes a friend, or a few, to point out what you can do. And I learned that change doesn't always mean the end of everything. Twilight's helping me with this letter, and I have a stack of quills that she's enlarged for me to use. I have permission to sleep in the square for the moment, but the whole town is interested in helping me build my house behind the library. Tomorrow, I have lessons in learning how to control my strength and my fire. Tuesday is my first flying lesson. I'm real nervous about that one. All my friends are helping me, and I'm going to help back as well. There are stumps around the apple orchard I can pull up, and I'm going to try to move the big rock trapping the stream on Horsefowl Mountain. I'll donate my fire to the Sunday afternoon picnic in Ponyville Park, and donate my shed skins to Rarity. When I learn to fly, I'll take the little fillies and colts on joyrides, and I'll scare away all those old cockatrices from the Everfree Forest. I can't do a lot of things I used to be able to do anymore, but I can do enough of them to get by. Besides, I've got a whole new set of skills to learn. That's pretty exciting. I can't remember too much about Camelot anymore. I remember Pony Joe's and the Citadel and the Palace, but that's about it. It's all a bit blurry because it was just a baby. Ponyville is my home now, and I'm so glad I don't have to leave it. Your friend, Spike.
And there we have it.
Yay!
Woo!
Hooray!
I hope I did the voice okay. I was trying to get the gritty voice, but then I kept having saliva fill up in my throat.
Yeah, you're fine.
It was causing a gurgling sound.
Aw.
Well, and I was tripping over every third word. I haven't narrated in how many fics now?
This program is brought to you by Winstutter.
Well,
But
No
Yeah.
offense.
Wait, hold on, Rosie, do the meep again.
Oh, that was great.
yes,
Oh my
perfect Fluttershy.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you guys laugh when you guys were trying to read it. I was just like, there's a meep in there. I'm a meep. That's what I do best.
It would have been even more hilarious if you were just like meep.
Flutter guy. Flutter guy came back from all. Like, you think she gets squeakier, but no, Flutter guy returns whenever she's squished.
Well, we.
No, it's
yeah.
like, Squee's like, meep.
Oh my god.
She's an evil enchantress. She does evil dances.
You look
you
into
look
her
into her
eyes.
Who the hell
But
was
she was
doing
trained
that?
for
I don't
accents.
recognize the voice at all.
Huh?
The evil enchantress. I did not recognize who was doing that voice at all.
You mean who was just singing a moment ago?
Yes.
That was
First
double
it was
R.
Lycan, and then it was double R.
Oh.
Lycan in the first couple, and then I finished it off.
Oh. Okay. But yeah. Ugh. God damn it! It's still warm enough here that, or cold enough here that my heater has to kick on. But anyways, that was extremely fun. I think this will be definitely a good fic. It's slightly
Fun?
longer, so
Fun?
that way we don't have to
Fun?
worry about.
Last one I did, when I checked the word stuff, we'll probably be doing this all the way through June. Probably won't do a new effect until like July.
Good. Because see, yeah, at the moment, going and trying to go and get back from college stuff and everything, get moved back and everything, and try to get stuff sorted out. Yeah, it's going to be kind of hectic in my area of the world, so I have to get everything sorted out. Plus, yeah, also got to go and get my calendar. Oh yeah, I got to get my calendar put together to give to my boss so he knows, hey, I need these days off. Oh, great. Alrighty. But, yeah. Unfortunately,
Alright.
I have a bunch of stuff to do to finish getting ready for classes and stuff. Not to mention, I have to wake up early because we got screwed out of a bunch of class time and by the college. So, we are now waking up early every single damn day, and it is driving me fucking batty. But,
Ow.
anyways,
You should hurt whichever students.
I
morning
did,
things.
and I was told that if I did anything like that again, I would be kicked out.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Good.
So-
Your
well,
graduation's coming
perfect
up.
timing for me too because I'm going on call now. An emergency just came in. Yeah, there's another one.
Shout out quick!
Shout outs to Schaumburg City for having a water main explosion. And shout out shout outs to Rosie for the meat. And shout outs to Lycan, the new Larsis, and Rosie, the new Sora.
I'm
And
not
I
a
Forest.
thought she was the new forest.
Or the new Forest, sorry.
Which forest?
Forest Rain, hurdy dirty.
Hurdy there.
It's called.
Oh my god.
I like
my
music.
God. What the hell?
Alrighty.
A
So-
4-foot wide water main break over in
Lovely.
Schaumburg. A 4-foot wide transmission water line broke over in Schaumburg.
Oh,
Oh,
lovely.
Great. I was looking for sleep, but I don't think that's gonna happen tonight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, be safe over there, dude.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I'll
Don't
be
get
fine.
crushed by any
I'll
of the
just be at a
construction
water
equipment.
park all day.
Alrighty.
Bye.
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 Alrighty. And next up, we'll do shoutouts for Meep. I mean Zeta and Rosie.
Oh yes. Shout out to Forest Rain's sleeping maybe because she probably is tossing and turning in her bed going "Argh!" while hearing all this go on. Even the meeps. She could probably even hear the meeps.
Shout outs to Trixie, who's the best pony. Screw all y'all saying it different.
Oh, yes.
I wholeheartedly agree.
The great and the powerful Trixie is
And-
flattered by that man's comments.
And just so that you all know, his license plate actually does say Great and
Really?
Yes.
Props, man. Props.
Yeah. I got to see it at Cider Fest. Anyways, on to Lycan.
It's me. Hi. I really, really dislike the pinky parts where you gotta keep talking and not breathe.
I can do that. I can actually do that very well.
It's so
I was
hard.
happy.
Well, it's mostly the reading of the lines and saying it as well. You gotta get them right.
Yeah.
Let's make a
yes,
contest out of it.
Make a contest out of it. See, the funny thing is that I'm quite good with tongue twisters. Like Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers.
Peter
and
Piper
many
picked a
other
peck of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick?
6.
Anyways.
So yes, shout outs to tongue twisters and reading things really, really fast.
Alrighty. And next on to Double R Forest.
Got 2 shoutouts. One to Windstutter for changing the entire dynamic of this reading. And a shout out to Mike's Hard Lemonade for changing absolutely nothing about the experience of today.
Alrighty. And next on to Orange Shirt Guy, who, if he had any alcohol, will probably have the exact opposite reaction.
Shout outs to fallen trees, turned over trash cans, exploding trucks, broken water mains, evidently. Thank you, Mother Nature.
Is my truck okay?
It's. You'll be back this weekend, right?
It better be okay. Let's put it this way. If it's not at the moment, it better be okay by the time I get there on Friday.
Blame nature.
So you might have a bit of work to do in the meantime. You and Tyler going and doing the body work. So, on to CMC.
Hold on, I'm poking between Techman and Lycan here, trying to figure out what's going on there.
Alrighty, so his shoutouts go to Techman and Lycan. Nice.
So, shoutouts to the fires that are everywhere. Spreading so lovely. And to the explosions, which are not my fault. Not at all. You can't blame them on me. And
what proof do you
shout
have?
outs to Eloise!
Yes, I feel kind of bad because I actually did get into the beta testing of that, or the pre-release testing, but I haven't played it yet.
Send me your login info and I'll have fun.
I might do that. You haven't mentioned that to me before. I might. Alrighty. So, without further ado, starting off with, you can check out all the other stuff. So, also, yeah, my shoutouts go out to all of you viewers out there. Restream for apparently giving us a floating stream key that we have to update every week. Also to Winds rocking my trailer in Moline, Illinois for being actually like really fun, and I really enjoyed it. Even though it was like night and day. You go to the Iowa side in Des Moines, or not Des Moines, Davenport. Oh my God, everybody's so much nicer. Then you go over into Moline, into Illinois, and just like everybody's an ass. So I'm just like, okay. But anyways, yes, so shout-outs to all of you. Shout-outs to people for making this fun. Shout-outs to Mass Drop for making me feel like an idiot. Shout-out to John Deere University for all the fucking online courses I have to do. So, yes. Yeah, without further ado, our other stuff throughout the week. So, starting off with Sunday, we have Circuits Let's Play at 4 p.m. And then Mogul Dash's Music and Games at 7 p.m. on alternating days. Monday, we have an Equestrian Flag Stop at 8 p.m. That is where Coldust goes and has fun on the Brony Show Network right before the Brony Show, where you can catch up on all your Brony news at 9 p.m. And then the after party is at some point after, till whenever it decides to end. And then Tuesday, we have Cold Dust Gypsy Drawing Band starting around 9:15 p.m. Eastern. Winchester Wednesdays is on Wednesday, which you are watching right now. And it started at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Friday, we have their own RPG stream at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Saturday, we have Saturday morning cartoons. And then join in for Creatures Gaming Meltdown at 8 p.m. So, yes. Thank you all for showing up. It's been fun.
It has.
Say goodbye.
Bye.
Unfortunately, I didn't. Like, I almost had it queued up. I didn't, as far as music goes. Here.